Hello, I'm Tara Brabazon.
And I'm Judy O'Connell.
And yes, this is our 6th instalment of Judy and Tara Talk Tech. And today is a rather special topic. I love this one. We're looking at fast media. So Twitter and what's often called micro-blogging. And I'm going to start with a Frenchman, an old French theorist, one of the few that's still alive, Paul Virilio. And Paul Virilio used the argument that that which is fast dominates that which is slow. So the fast will dominate the slow. Now in media terms, that's quite significant. But as we know, there are profound challenges with the fast in terms of interpretation, consciousness and reflection on what we're doing. So I think Twitter is really the archetype of fast media. Now, Jude is a superstar on Twitter. You are, don't deny it, you are a superstar. No, yes, oh she is. So can you tell us about, I'm really interested in this, can you tell us about your Twitter life, how you manage Twitter, how you manage the speed of it?
It's interesting, Tara, I've been using Twitter since 2006.
Wow.
And it's always interesting to come back to the anniversary of that, because there are tools that actually tell you that, the day that you were born on Twitter, which is the terminology that's used on Facebook as well.
Wow.
But what's interesting is in that space of time is that the usage of Twitter, where it used to be an eccentric tool for the up-and-coming social media people, has now become a mainstream tool. Yeah. If you have a look at any online newspaper, you'll find, or any online journal, magazine, whatever it is that you're travelling online, buying things, you'll find amongst other things a little Twitter icon to tweet the information about what it is that you like. Yeah. So it's part of that conversation about you've read something on the Sydney Morning Herald and it's fantastic. So you've now got everybody with the potential to participate in sharing their quality reading experiences or whatever else it might be. So that's one side of Twitter that's emerged beautifully. The other side, and it's become mainstream, and also on the television live feed back into television programs. Again, hashtags into that. That takes us to the use of hashtags. So using Twitter, microblogging, blogging.
That's just funny though.
We can blob and we can blog.
Yes, microblogging.
We can do it quickly. We can't say it quickly, but we can do it quickly. Getting involved means that as academics and as teachers, we also can use these tools as back channels, participating in a conversation around a conference theme using a hashtag.
Yes.
ALIA National hashtag, for example, when we were having our ALIA National Summit, and so on. And also as a way of curating the feed, because once you've got the hashtag, you can pull down the information that's been shared and protect it, and you can storify it.
Yeah.
So, you know, there are so many powerful uses of Twitter beyond happening to mention to someone that I'm going to Bathurst to talk tech with Tara.
I use it for really only 2 reasons. Jude has a much more complicated use in Twitter life. I use Twitter, Jude, as a pointer. So what I do is I use the 140 characters to point to richer information. So if I release a podcast or a vodcast, or if I've got a book or a review or something I'm very interested in, I use Twitter to point to that resource. So that's basically my usage of it. Also, I have the great privilege of basically following a lot of librarians. I slightly digitally stalk librarians. I'm a bit of a girly fan. But the thing is, because I follow a lot of librarians, the librarians do all the hard work for me. So they tweet all the wonderful, important resources that I'm actually really interested in. So Twitter saves me a lot of time, because I'm deploying the expertise of librarians who have already selected and curated data, which is sent to me, and I go, thank you very much, thank you to the Twitter gods, and then I'm able to use and deploy that. So they're my 2 major uses, Jude. What else could or should I be doing, do you think?
You know, quite outside of the academic sector, Twitter is also a really powerful way of connecting with services. So, for example, in the old days, which is currently now, if you've got a problem with your phone, you would try and go onto the help desk and sit on the phone for 45 minutes and try
with the
and
weird music.
With the weird music, or get a wonderful, helpful but nevertheless Indian help desk person who doesn't actually understand your particular content and need. Forget that. Go to the Twitter account of that same organisation. I have had tremendous interactions with people via that. I've had problems solved, supported all the way through, ended up on the phone in personal conversations. None of this other kind of way of dealing with things. So Twitter supports us in many, many ways, as well as our academic ways of conversation. So yes, connecting with people in all different sectors, using it as a pointer, as an announcement tool,
yes,
using it as a way to feed information in to us all, and also as an organisational tool. We can collect Twitter folders. Lists is the word I'm looking for.
Yes, absolutely. One final question on this one, Jude, about what can't be done in these microblogging sites, what can't be done in Twitter. Where wouldn't you go? Why wouldn't you use it for particular topics or ideas?
Well, you're not going to use it for in-depth conversations, so it is again very much like a 5-minute quick conversation with somebody. You can connect with a number of colleagues, ask for help, find a resource and so on, but when it comes to something deeper and more meaningful, I'm not saying that prosaically, I mean that in the sincerest way. A deeper way of thinking. This is where you go to, not the microblogging, but the blogging platform.
Lovely.
Again, a social way of interacting, but an opportunity to write 150, 250, 1,000 words, whatever it might be, video footage, sonic files, anything, as a way of opening conversation and continuing development of ideas.
Oh, thanks, Jude. Look, this is a really important emerging area. Jude is a great expert on this, but I think there is that recognition that fast media is important media, but it has challenges in terms of ensuring consciousness and reflective use of it, but also recognise the great value of the quickness, the real-time engagement with ideas and people and events. So really powerful. Thanks, Jude, for that.